Hello. I apologize if I seem a little flat today. That's kind of how I am feeling. I I wouldn't say that I'm depressed per se. Um, just not very animated. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. Um, I'm not tired. Uh, it's like it's a place I usually am when I'm in between moods, um, especially if I'm between like mixed um, and depression and anything. It's almost like like when you're flying somewhere and you have a layover. That's kind of what it's like. You're just like at the airport biding time until the next plane comes, or mood in this case. Um, and I just I'm doing my work affirmation cards. I don't have as many because I started it later than just like my daily affirmation type things cards. But I noticed something today that I thought I would mention because I've mentioned it before, but just something interesting that uh, I see every day of my life. Um, Way back in the day, before I could, lithium continuous release came out, Big came out, and I couldn't take regular lithium, and Seroquel hadn't come out, and so I was on Depakote for quite a while. Didn't really help my moods, but it gave me this really weird acne, particularly on my forehead. It's a little bit over here too. It also comes down here, but the acne really just was right here in the beginning. This is like in the 2000s, and it was a strange acne, and it went away when I went off of Depakote, but it left a skin discoloration. You can probably see it a little bit, but in real life it is quite apparent. Uh, and up till recently, I was extremely self-conscious about it. Usually I wear my hair parted on this side. I had been experimenting with putting it on the other side to hide it a little bit. I had someone just like look, someone I knew but hadn't seen me in a while, just like look at me and say, "What happened to your forehead?" Because the sunlight makes it worse, and it has extended the discoloration. You can see it right now, but it's actually darker in person. And recently, like within this like last week or so, I hadn't been putting any sunblock on, and I was just like, I don't care anymore. It's there, and I just don't care anymore. And it's weird because I had always been very, very self-conscious of it. And I think what helped is the CBD oil, because all in all, it has, I mean, I still have some body issues, like, concerns about how I look, but as far as interacting with other people, and I'm interacting with them, I'm not conscious of how I look. I know that I have showered and combed my hair, like made an effort to appear decent. So I'm not really concerned outside of that. So, and now after years of every day looking in the mirror and seeing it getting worse and worse, I have no idea what it's going to do, how far it's going to go. I'm not going to avoid going outside. I'm not going to wear a hat, so that's that. So in case you didn't know, Depakote can cause skin discoloration. And also, I used to have, now I just blow dried my hair and it's like in really bad condition. And I also used really bad hair products today. But you can't tell. But Depakote caused my hair to fall out. Not like completely, just like a little bit every day, which turned out to be more than it should have been. And when it grew back wavy and almost curly. So in case you didn't know, that's the thing, some of the things Depakote can do for you. And I've been having trouble with facial pain. In a video I talked about the trigeminal neuralgia I have, because I bent over and hit my forehead on a piece of metal, and it left a really big bump and bruise in it, and it has been triggering pain, and it's very tender. It didn't seem like much at the time, but when I was in tears the other day because it hurt so bad, the nerve pain triggered from that. So, but it's a lot better. So let's get to these cards. Now, I wanted these two. I did these when I was just starting, I think, just starting the dog training. I had left the animal shelter, which was traumatic, and I was, as we with bipolar disorder have to do very often, start over. And I started over with my own dog training biz. And so that's when I started these cards. And for in the beginning to help my self-confidence. Turn this down. Okay. And everybody's saying this, and I'm not really sure if it's you got this or you've got this, but that's my, see, you can't see, there you go, you've got this. That's the first one. And people are saying it left and right, but I find it to be a very confidence boosting few words. You are resilient. I don't think I'll have to hold them each one up for you. Here's, you deal with your shit. Life has a lot of that shit, and you have to deal with it before you can move on. And before you can, move forward in life, you have to deal with it. You can't just let it sit. Yeah. Don't give up things you love. And I meant that as in, I loved working with the animals at the animal shelter, so there's no reason I shouldn't give that up. I can do that in a different context, and in my case, that is dog training. Otherwise, I could have volunteered at a different animal shelter or rescue. I, could have done transport for rescues, all kinds of things. Stay in that area outside of the animal shelter I managed. If you don't love it anymore, let it go. I have hobbies, and I'm like stubborn, and I have all the things that go with the hobby, and I haven't touched it in years. And so sometimes it helps to let that stuff go. Throw it away, sell it, to help declutter your life. There was a time before the internet and smartphones, and you were happy. I did that because I would like to be less. It's not going very well, but I would like to be less attached to electronics. I can remember a time when I didn't have a cell phone in that, and I also I think that goes towards, I don't make as much money doing dog training as I did, at least not yet, as I did working at the shelter, but and so I wanted to remind myself that if I have to give up some of my little subscriptions to channels and stuff, that is okay, and I can still be happy, pick up a real book, instead of buying them on Audible, go to the library. I'm not gonna be empty without all of those electronic attachments. Okay, time is short, don't waste it doing things you don't love. So if you're, it kind of speaks for itself. We have a short life, so I'm having a hard time describing it, but it speaks for itself, really. Say hello to the people that hurt you. It will make them more uncomfortable than you feel. Because I still run into people from the animal shelter where I worked, and it was where I was harassed, and it was bad. So when I see those people, you know, I look right at them. I don't avert my gaze. I don't look at the ground. I just, you know, and they're the ones I find that can't look at me because they know they did wrong. Stay honest. Stay true to yourself. Be good. That's a hard one, but not for work. But be good is your intentions. Your intention should be, like for me, to help people with their dogs, not make money. So I shouldn't do anything to push them to pay more money. Have fun. I forget to do that. Oh, stay strong. Stay strong is hard lately. Have fun. I have fun every day I go to go to somebody's house to work with them with their dog. So, if it weren't fun, the owners some of them I can have fun with too, but mostly it's just seeing the improvement of the dog's behavior and stuff. So, but I also like seeing the owners proud of their dogs. So, different doesn't mean better. And I'm not really sure where I was going with that one, but it makes sense. Like you can just change one addiction for another. So, you know, things like that. Relax. Breathe. Ground. Ground is something you don't hear a whole lot about. But when you're anxious or you're feeling kind of not quite there because of your bipolar symptoms, grounding can be very helpful. I have like fidgety things that I keep in my pocket. What I do, I keep lip balm in my pocket and pull it out and put it on. It's like grounding for me. My dog, his physical contact is grounding, but I don't take him with me to train, so I have to find my own ways of keeping myself in the present. Okay. Look forward to something or some things, even if it's just one thing. It's been too hot, but the Renaissance Festival goes through mid-October, so there'll be plenty of weekends to go. Not this weekend, I think it's going to be too hot, but the weekend after. And I'm looking forward to that. Because of COVID, it's not as wonderful, and I don't mean that wonderful as in oh great, but wonderful as in magical. there's less people, but the vendors are there and they have some good stuff. So, so I can at least do the shopping I like to do and look at things. So, it won't be forever if you're doing something difficult. Just remember that there's an ending in there. The more you do, the more you can do. That's in my other ones too. Don't be afraid to ask. I've become very comfortable with asking people things because I have to, as a dog trainer, ask a lot of questions, and that has exercised that ability for me because I had a problem with that before with social anxiety, and now I don't have a problem with it. So, let's see. You are you, they are them. So, if you're forced to be around difficult people, remember that even though you're in the same room or something, they're them and they're the awful ones. You are you, just because you're in the same, you just don't clump yourself in a group. It's part of a group that you're not really part of. And don't identify yourself with a group, I think is what I meant. Especially if you're talking about hate. And don't be boring, be eccentric. I can do what I want now with my hair, running my own business. No one is better than you. That's a self-esteem thing. You are your own boss, which I am. But in a more general sense, in life, you are your own boss. Have a goal. Make a plan. I have a goal of I would like to have a booth at the next Renaissance Festival. I have to be juried in. I have to send them pictures and fill out an application after this festival. Don't forget you. We are doing for other people so much, or we're lost in our heads so much that we forget to do things for ourselves. Enjoy the world. Go outside, look out a window, pick up a book, and enjoy it. If I want to see a sunrise, my body clock doesn't work that way. I tried setting an alarm so I could get up to see a sunrise, and it doesn't work. But what I do enjoy is looking at the moon. I have special binoculars that I can look and see even like the craters and stuff, and I watch where it is in relation to my house. When I'm walking my dog, I do this, and what stage it's in, and I'm just fascinated by that. So and I just am looking at it thinking, it's shining because the sun is reflecting the sun, but I can't see the sun because it's night, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit. People are strange and fun to watch. People watching, it's awesome activity. Maybe you aren't the one with the problem. Anytime something's going on, make sure you really look at things and make sure that maybe it's somebody else that's the problem. Whatever it is, there is an end. That I think is, I did one already. Don't listen to people talking smack about other people. Walk away. Don't get into it. It erodes your heart, your insides, your soul, when you gossip and get involved in just talking smack just to be funny and fit in. And it's easy to do, especially nowadays on social media. Don't talk smack, it will be found out. Have you ever said something and you got found out? Be you, don't change to fit in. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. And for me, for work, sometimes I'll explain it, and then there's a point where I'm like, they're never going to get it. I'm just going to have to work around this issue somehow. You will learn from every experience. Cope, manage, adapt, innovate, and continue on. Basically, take what you can from yesterday and mold it into what you need to get through today. I have this one in here so many times. The more you do, the more you can do. And it's so true. Rest. Take time to rest. And then I have be active. Always be compassionate. Always. At any given time, that person is doing the best that they can. People like to feel wanted. So, don't say I like to make people feel good. And it can be seen as a pushover trait, but it's not. I'm not a pushover. But I do like people to feel good and special. Don't trust people whose words and body language don't match. Fortunately, I think I'm pretty good at assessing body language in people. And it has turned out to be a helpful thing. It takes practice. You have to people watch to learn about people. And those are all the ones right now that I have for work. So I'm going to keep these on the shorter side than like my hour long ones. So I'm going to leave this here now. I'm thinking of doing a video about paranoia and bipolar disorder next. So, anybody watching, I will see you then.